All right, happy Blue Friday to all the Seahawk fans. Washington Redskins this weekend in Seattle. This should be a good one. Right off the bat, to get into this game, I see a lot of people automatically chalking this up as a win for the Seattle Seahawks. And while they're playing in Seattle, and ESPN's giving the Seahawks a 76.1% chance of winning, and while I do think the Seahawks will win this game, I think we got to pump the brakes a little bit because this is going to be a hard fought game. The Redskins coming off a tough loss to the Cowboys dropped to 3-4 on the year. So this is a must win game for the Redskins basically. If they lose this game, they're going to drop to 3-5. And they dropped to 3-5. Their season is basically over, especially with how well the Eagles are playing, and the Cowboys are just gonna start getting on a roll here soon. I believe. Um, the Giants obviously aren't going to do anything this season, but with how good the NFC is, there's not going to be three playoff teams coming out of the NFC East. So this is a must-win game for the Redskins. They lose this game, their season's basically over, in my opinion. So this is going to be a game where the Redskins really are going to come out and they're going to play Seattle as hard as they possibly can. Now, another thing to look forward to in this game, or to look at, is the Seahawks defense, which gave up a bunch of yards last week, especially to a rookie quarterback. Which, by the way, Deshaun Watson tearing his ACL really sucks. 19 passing touchdowns he already had on the season. He was most likely going to break the rookie record with 26 passing touchdowns. He's probably, if I had to guess, he'd probably end the year on 30 or 31 passing touchdowns. So it really sucks to see Deshaun Watson get injured like that. But the Seahawks defense coming off the way they played last week, going into this game, I think they're really gonna want to prove some people wrong and really kind of make up for what happened. Earl Thomas is a game time decision, so if Earl Thomas doesn't play, that that can be a big deal. That can be a big loss, a really big loss for the Seahawks defense, and also Cam Chancellor, who is questionable. There was 9 Seahawks didn't participate in practice yesterday. Now, the big news of the week for Seahawks fans is the Seahawks traded and got Dwayne Brown, a left tackle, which Seattle desperately needed a left tackle ever since Russell Okung left, and when George Fant went down in the preseason. And George Fant, who looked pretty good for what he did play in the preseason, and he worked with Walter Jones in the offseason. Walter Jones, arguably one of the best left tackles of all time, and obviously in the Seahawks Hall of Fame. And to tear his ACL and be out for the season, it was a good trade. The Seahawks needed an offensive lineman, and this is also going to be good because I think it's going to help the run game. A lot of times when we run the ball, we've been having to run it to the right side of the line, and it just hasn't been working. So, and Seattle also named Eddie Lacy the number one running back. So they're going into this game with Eddie Lacy as their number one running back. I expect Eddie Lacy to get lots of carries to the left side. And it's good that Russell Wilson has some protection on his blind side now. So as far as this game goes, while I believe the Seahawks can win it, this is going to be a slugfest. I think the Redskins are not going to just. This is a game that the Redskins need to win. I see the Seahawks winning this game 27-21 or something like that. Like it's going to be a good game. I think the Seahawks offense is going to play great and everything, but the Redskins don't just chalk this up to an automatic win. This is going to be a typical Seahawks game where the heart's just the entire time. It's going to be a close game, and at the end, the Seahawks will probably pull it off because the Redskins need to win this game, and they're going to give it all they got because the Redskins, their season basically hinges on this game right here. I mean, it's the game is on November 5th. If they lose this game and drop to 3-5, as far as the NFC East goes, the Eagles are going to keep rolling. The Cowboys are going to start getting on a roll here soon. The Redskins can't afford to lose this game, but I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to see Dwayne Brown in action this Sunday. I'm so happy the Seahawks went and traded for an offensive lineman, especially someone with the caliber of Dwayne Brown. Dude is just a monster, and thank you, Houston, for giving him up to us. But I feel bad for Houston because not only do they trade their left tackle to the Seahawks, but then they lose Deshaun Watson. But hey, the Houston Astros beat my Dodgers in the World Series, so you know what? You traded a World Series for your quarterback. I'm just joking. That's a terrible joke. In all seriousness, I do hope Deshaun Watson can come back strong next year because we all seen how some quarterbacks, especially when you look at RG3's injury and how he was just never the same. Deshaun Watson is such an unbelievable talent, and a bunch of people from the Seahawks who came out and supported him. I mean, a lot of Seahawks players don't really come out and talk about how great some QBs are. I mean, they've done it with Tom Brady before and stuff, but a lot of times they're trash talking. I mean, they respected the hell out of Deshaun Watson, and with the performance Deshaun Watson had against the Seahawks defense, I mean, how could they not? So hoping he can come back stronger, and I'm hoping that the Seahawks have a win this weekend. I think they'll win the game. It's going to be a slugfest, though, but I'm really looking forward to watching. I'm looking forward to seeing if our running game can get going. Anyway, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. What do you think the score is going to be, and how excited are you about this Dwayne Brown trade? Anyway, thank you all for watching the video, and go Hawks.